Well, good evening, and tonight on our flip notes we're going to review the formation of sedimentary rocks on this visual organizer. So we'll start right out here at the top with the process that creates the sediments for a sedimentary rock to form. So the first process we're looking at is erosion. And this is the process by which rocks are worn away and moved to a different location. Well, when all of those little pieces of rock are moved, say for instance down a hillside, very often they're moved into a low-lying area with water. Now, the next process that happens then is deposition. The eroded soil, little pieces of rock, is deposited into layers. And as more layers are deposited, the oldest layer ends up being on the bottom, and the youngest layer, of course, would be on the top. Now, the next process that happens is because of all of the layers that get added on top of the previous layers, you have a lot of compacting. Imagine how much that soil and those little rocks above must weigh, and they push down on and compact the lower layers. So the oldest layers, all of the pieces are squeezed together very, very tightly. Now we have to cement all of those pieces together. So we have crystallized minerals. Remember our salt solution and the example I showed you in class today, that acts as a cement, that solution. And when the minerals start to form, it glues and sticks all of the sediment pieces together. Now that's the process by which all sedimentary rocks are formed. So let's review the three different types of sedimentary rocks. First, we're going to talk about clastic. Clastic, the word clastic means pieces. So a clastic sedimentary rock is when rock fragments are cemented together. So sometimes you can see those rock fragments will be coarse grained, other times they'll be medium, like sandstone, and other times they'll be very small, like the shale we looked at in class today. Now the rock fragments are cemented together, and our examples here are conglomerate and breccia. Those were both coarse grain. Conglomerate had the rounded pebbles, and the breccia had the angular pebbles. Organic is our next type of rock, and of course these are rocks that are made from organic sediment. And some examples of that would be fossils that were found, and our rock for that is limestone. Now a chemical sedimentary rock forms when minerals crystallize out of solution. So sometimes we have evaporation taking place, like in our salt crystals on the plate. Crystals were forming, and there was still some water there in that solution form. So the minerals actually form out of the solution. And some examples of that are the stalactites and stalagmites that we find in caves. Well, this concludes our visual organizer. What you need to do now is turn it over and to complete the questions that are on the back, and bring those completed to class tomorrow.